Welcome back to just an excellent show. Giannis signed through this year and next, but after that, not so sure. Sat down with the New York Times to talk about his long-term future in Milwaukee, saying, I would not be the best version of myself if I don't know that everybody's on the same page. Everybody's going for a championship. Everybody's going to sacrifice time away from their family like I do. And if I don't feel that, I'm not signing. Brew, your reaction.
Well, look, as a fan, I got to be honest, I was excited by it. And nothing against Milwaukee. I don't have anything against the Bucks or anything. But in the Bay Area, as soon as the story hit the wire, they had stories written in the Bay Area about Giannis coming to the Warriors. And I got to be honest, and you said it, he's got 2 years left on his deal before he could opt out. He and Steph, I mean, is that even possible?
37-year-old Steph Curry.
Exactly. So, but there's no duo. There's no place I'd rather see Giannis playing than with Steph Curry. Because I think it'd just be so awesome to see those two together. But so as a fan, I was excited about it. But I will say this. I don't think Giannis should sign an extension with the Bucks. Even if they win another championship, keep your options open. Like you said, he's got 2 years left. Chris Middleton's banged up. He played all right in the playoffs. But he's banged up and getting older. Drew Holiday's talking about retiring after the next 2 seasons, I guess. Yeah, and he's older. So, and Adrian Griffin, he mentioned him in the story, an unproven head coach. Again, even if they win another title, don't sign an extension. No one will kill you for leaving there with just one title. You got Milwaukee's first title since Kareem or Lou Alcindor. They certainly can't crush you if you leave there with 2. So keep your options open. Look at because he's looking at the field, Nick, and saying, look at what Phoenix is doing. Miami, if they get Damian Lillard, LeBron's got AD. Like, all these teams are stacking themselves. And what are we doing? So I'd say keep your options open, Giannis.
Pull the curtain back a bit for the audience. About 4 minutes ago, Wild was like, who wants to go first here, Nick or Brew? And Brew and I was like, who cares? Brew, go. I now wish I went first. Because I agree with everything Brew said. I wrote down here, even if they win the title this year, I wouldn't sign the extension. I guess it depends on priorities and what you want and all these things, but the cost of doing everything you can to win right now, which is what Milwaukee did and what they should have done when your superstar, when they acquired Drew, when they went out and got Brook Lopez, Giannis was just really age-wise entering his prime. Your cost, when you do that by acquiring proven guys in their prime, is that when your guy is still in his prime, those guys are going to be out of their prime. That's just how time works. And so if you're Giannis, if you want your legacy to be, if the most important thing is competing, but also one franchise for the entirety of your career, as he has talked about, then sure, after this year, because he says in this article, financially it doesn't make any sense to do it right now. But in a year it would make sense financially to do it with a year left on my deal, but I might not want to. Even if they win the title this year. If his biggest priority is winning as many titles as possible, Milwaukee is about to enter a tough time, aside from the fact they have either the best or the second best player in the league. And if he wants to make sure I am at the top contender list, it's not going to be with Milwaukee in 3 years. And there have been a lot of breadcrumbs prior to this.
Oh, yeah.
And, I don't know if this is what you wanted to get into, Wild, a guy we all have immense respect for and we all know, Brian Windhorst, started talking about Giannis and the Knicks months ago when the playoffs were going on. Bill Simmons, Wild's pal, has talked about, the majority owner of the Bucks just sold.
Yeah. Seems odd.
That seems odd. There have been a lot of
because it's just going to keep
a lot of
with
things
Giannis,
that have been leading you to believe.
Well, if he stays,
that have been leading you to believe that Giannis might really want to keep his options open, and I would not begrudge him that at all. No. And I am not saying the Bucks have mismanaged it. I think the Bucks have managed it really, really well to maximize his window, and they won a title. They probably could have won another one if not for an injury here or there, and they might win this year. They might very well be my pick to win this year. I don't know, but if you're talking about over the next 5 years, I doubt the best place for him is Milwaukee.
Brew, let me read you some quotes. This just jumped out at me that there was just some past tense in here.
Oh, yeah, we had.
I gave everything for the city of Milwaukee. Everything. This is my team. It's going to be forever my team. But we have to win another one. At the end of the day, being a winner, it's only the goal. Winning a championship comes first. I was just surprised there will never be any hard feelings with the Milwaukee Bucks. It just felt a little bit rear window.
No, it did.
More than I expected.
It definitely did, and it's the total opposite of there's no failure in sports. Right? I don't know what got into him since that. Remember that? That's what he said.
Of course.
Now, I get it. In the moment, something like that enables you to deal with the failure, right? You look at the other great things in your life. Hey, you're rich beyond your wildest dreams. You got great family. That's what you do when you fail professionally. And so maybe that's all it was. But now he's realized, and I think rightly so, it's about championships. It's about how many of these rings can I stack up. And so I like his look. I get it. If you're a Bucks player, you're reading that or from somebody in the organization, it's putting them all on notice. And it even implies that he might feel like some of the guys aren't working as hard as he is, or they need to make some moves. Right, a little of that. So I get it how it could come off the wrong way. But look,
the other quote in there is he's pretty honest, like, I want to see what this new coach is all about.
That was odd, too.
Where he loved Bud, but also keep in mind when they fired Jason Kidd. If you remember, he called Jason Kidd and was like, do you think I can stop it? Like, you know,
right.
He might very well end up loving Adrian Griffin. Mm-hmm. But Giannis has always been maybe a touch more honest than I think most superstars are.
Yes.
And it just...
Some of it's naivete.
That's just what I was going to say is it just seems like he kind of is just really saying what he thinks at times. But I was looking, I'm like, okay, 2 years from now, who could be positioned for Giannis? I think the Knicks, because Wendy's talked about it, I think that's a real thing. They would be Julius Randle's a player option that year. They could create the space. The team that will definitely have the space, and it would not be a big market team, but man, let's see what Wemby looks like, is the Spurs. The Spurs have all the space in the world. And if Wemby is the guy that, Brew, I don't know if you remember, Brew said he's going to be twice the player Hakeem Olajuwon.
No, I said when people saying what they've been saying about him,
if people are right about Wemby, that by year 3, he's going to be in the best player in the league discussion. He'll still be on a rookie deal. And I'm going to say one other team.
Will Giannis want to go to that? If Wemby is all that.
Well, let's say he's a touch beneath that. Let's say by year 3, Wemby is considered the 15th best player in the league, which would definitely be good enough to be the second best player on a champion if your best player is Giannis. You know what I mean? So the Spurs, if he doesn't care about market, and then there's the team that will have cap space and will have Anthony Davis and nobody else. And that's the Lakers.
Well, Austin
Reeves. It's Anthony Davis, Austin Reeves, and I think Rui are the only guys under contract 3 years from now.
Mm-hmm. And that's what the Lakers do.
That's what the Lakers do. LeBron will, we assume, be long gone. And AD.
And I also think teams will start positioning themselves.
That's the other thing.
If it really looks like he's ready to move on.
Because we haven't had one of these in a while.
Right.
Because everybody signs and then demands a trade. You know what I mean? We haven't had the clear cap space for the free agency of player X since the Durant and Kyrie summer.
I like the Warriors. Say what you will about the Warriors ownership. When they come out and say, we don't care what it is, we are going to compete, we're in the championships business.
Hold on.
I think every player is like, oh, yeah, I like that.
So you're saying you like Giannis
I like
with
the Warriors' attitude towards spending money. They're $90 million over the cap. They're like, we are going to try to win.
If I were them, I'd be doing everything I could right now to try to get Giannis. Obviously not this year, but
the problem
before he's
the problem is that Steph next year turns 36.
But don't you think his game is going to age like a fine wine?
But at 37,
it'd be 38. It'd be at 38.
Worst case scenario, he turns into Clay.
Right, I don't think because
be the same.
Clay would be gone, Draymond would be gone. And in order to make this work, because Steph's still on 50-some million, it's 38-year-old Steph with Giannis. If I'm Giannis and I'm leaving Milwaukee because the team got old and I can't win a title, I don't know that going to Golden State with 38-year-old Steph make a lot of sense. I agree with you that
it'd be great if it could happen
great
now.
theater, and if Steph were to maintain, who knows? Maybe Steph will maintain, but we've only seen one guy maintain from 35 to 38, and we see time and time again Steph ain't that guy. So, I mean, I just don't know that that's realistic.
Well, he's not quite LeBron. Not quite.
I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. Well, I mean, I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong. I might be annoying.
You're like, oh, he's not
but
that
I'm
guy.
not wrong.
I mean, Steph's pretty good.
Thanks for watching. Subscribe here to get more from the show and to check out clips from other shows on FS1.